Good afternoon, everybody. I didn't even have a microphone on, sweetheart. Let me find it. Well, So let's start that all over again. Good afternoon, everybody. I got my microphone on now. Glad to have you along on this Wednesday evening. We're getting ready to make something. Guess who sent me this recipe? My lovely wife, Debbie, sent me this recipe. She found it and she said, let's make it. So tonight we're starting out with some chicken thighs. I've got my chicken thighs here. I bought these frozen from Quality Foods in a Town Plaza shopping center. It was like a 5-pound bag and it was very little money. Unbelievable how cheap chicken thighs are. These are boneless, fairly skinless. We're going to cut a little bit more of this skin off just to make sure that we keep the skin down, because that's where the fat is in these. So we're going to do a little bit of that to it while we're getting them ready. And we're just going to cut these up in strips. Now, while this is going on, we're going to get our pan going here to some medium-high heat. So we'll let that get started. We're just going to cut these into strips. So we're going to cut them kind of like this. Kind of like that. And if you notice my fingers, that's not dirt. I was painting a fence today with some almost like tar fence paint. And I got it all over my hands, and I got it off the best I could with lacquer thinner and with other high volatile chemicals, but still left some in there. So anyway, it's not dirt, it's fence paint. So we're going to cut these into strips. Got about a pound and a third is what the recipe calls for. I have 3 here, and that comes out to about a pound and a third. Anyway, it's going to be a great amount for Debbie and me to have a nice dinner tonight out of these. So we've got those trimmed, and they'll be going in the pan here in just a minute. I hope everybody's week's gone fine. Debbie and I have had a fairly uneventful week, just the kind of normal stuff that you have. We've had some water issues. Matter of fact, we've got a plumber here working on things now. It got to the point where let me wash my hands, where I just couldn't finish the job, and so I had someone come in, and he's digging a big old ditch in the backyard. So hopefully we'll retain some water while we need it here today. I've got a little bit of butter going in. That's a tablespoon of butter.
Vinny's watching.
Vinny, did you say Vinny?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Vinny Livingston, good old Vinny watching. And here is a tablespoon of olive oil. Now, the reason that we put butter and olive oil, the butter helps things to brown better, and the olive oil keeps the butter from burning. Olive oil on its own will also, has a high smoke point, so it will start smoking if you don't watch it. So we're kind of cutting the olive oil with the butter, and we're cutting the butter with the olive oil. So it's a kind of a two-way street right there. We got this over medium-high heat, so we're going to go ahead and put our chicken strips in. And you can hear them already starting to sizzle. We want to brown these well on all sides, so we're going to put them in there and take some tongs and work around with them. Probably 4 or 5 minutes is what it's going to take to get these like we want them. We want them fairly well done, because there's going to be very little cooking going on after this. So we want them to be as done as we can get them. So just let them go right there while I wash my hands here a bit. You know, July 4th is just around the corner, and I just got a phone call today from, and I haven't even told you this about here, sweetheart, from Viking Cruises. Viking Cruises has got some great specials going on right now if you book your cruises. I'm working on a cruise for folks to Quebec, Canada, coming up for leaf season in Boston. And it is for a group, but if you want to go, just let me know and I'll send you the information. It's going to be a great cruise. All of those leaves, we've wanted to go to Boston for years in the fall and see the beautiful leaves that are there. And so we're hoping to do that this year. Take a little bit of kosher salt and salt my chicken thighs while they're getting ready to go. So I'll salt the top, and of course salt will also infuse that oil, and it will coat the bottoms as we go along. I'll put more in later. Now let me get rid of this cutting board and my chicken dish. Anyway, Viking is offering some great deals right now on cruises, so if you want to go, let me know and we can certainly set you up. This is served over Zoodles. If you've watched this program before, you know I'm a big believer in Zoodles. It's nothing more than spiralized zucchini.
Kathy Carol is watching, and
Kathy,
Vicki
yeah.
Wilbanks.
I have had Kathy the last couple of weeks, and Vicky's watching. So good to have y'all tuning in. So we're going to spiralize these zucchinis, making zoodles. This is a little spiralizer, and you can buy these at Walmart. I bought this, believe it or not, at Ross in Asheville, North Carolina. Ross Dress for Less. We found it there and picked it up
I
there.
hear Ross has quite a little kitchen area.
Ross got all kind of neat stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with what all they got. I cut my zucchinis down a little bit just because this thing that goes in there, it's not big enough for a huge,
so
long zucchini.
Yeah.
So I usually cut them in half. And we're looking for 2 large zucchinis will do this. It calls for 1.5 cups of zucchini. I'm assuming this is going to be about 1.5 cups. That's a zucchini a piece once you put it in the mixture. So I think we're going to be good with that. By the way, the travel agency business is going great. We're having a good time. I've got some folks I booked a cruise to Alaska for. If you want to go to Alaska, they're going in September. That's about the last time you can go to Alaska before it just gets so frozen up there that you can't go. So got them going to Alaska. And we've also got folks that I'm booking to Las Vegas. They're going to carry 24 people. Can you believe that? 24 people to Las Vegas for a big birthday trip next June. And
Aren't they going to Circus?
Yeah, we're setting them up at Circus, which, believe it or not, is one of the least expensive places to stay. And you've got the whole theme park and everything there at Circus. You would think that it would be very expensive, but it's actually less expensive than like Luxor or any of those places you stay on the Strip in Las Vegas. So I'm very pleased with that. Got all their flight information, got everything set to go, and so we are going to help them have a great time when they get ready to celebrate that birthday next year. So
Ashley Gregory's watching.
Ashley told me she was going to be watching. I
Yeah.
knew you would, Ashley. Now here's what I'm doing. These zoodles come out in long spirals, and rather than having to deal with that like long spaghetti and something, I'm just cutting them up so that they're kind of small.
Cherie is watching.
Cherie, I tell you what, been watching all those things about Abel. That little boy is quite the fisherman. He is having himself a ball. And Cherie, I saw a picture of you the other day. You're looking so good.
I know. I saw that too.
Yeah, I started to mention something to Debbie about that. But anyway,
No, I saw
you're
it.
looking great. So we're going to turn these over. Want them browned fairly well. And of course, I started to use my cast iron skillet. That always browns really well. But I love this pan here that I got. I may have gotten this at Target. I'm not sure if it was a Walmart or a Target.
Gwen Whitworth Vaughn is watching.
Gwen is watching. Yeah, hey Gwen. Glad to have all of you watching today. By the way, last week we hit a new record. We had 1.6 thousand people watching the show, and Facebook even sent me a message and said they've expanded my reach now because I'm putting out such good quality content. I thought that was awfully nice of it, and what that means is you got a lot of viewers. That's how they determine if your content's good or not. So y'all are watching, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, Cherie.
Yeah, what's Abel doing? I know he's got the junior deputy thing going on, Cherie. What else is he doing this summer, or is that going to take up all of his time? That was a big deal to become part of the junior deputy deal. See, we may not comment on everything, but we watch everything that's going on Facebook.
Yeah. That's just about ready.
Yeah, well, it's ready for the next step.
Yeah.
That'll continue to cook. Going in now, these are sun-dried tomatoes. There's just a can of sun-dried tomatoes. Again, you can get these at Quality Foods, Town Plaza Shopping Center in Toccoa. So the sun-dried tomatoes are going in. And one thing I like to do, this is the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes. It's infused with a lot of goodness. So I like to put a tablespoon of that in also just to boost the flavor just a little bit. So the sun-dried tomatoes can go in.
That looks so good.
Oh, just wait, baby doll.
Roger Murray and Alan Bunton.
Hey, good to see you, Roger and Alan both. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Remember, if you like it, I will send you the recipe. That's what we always do. So if you just hit the like button, I'll make sure I send you the recipe. It calls for a little bit of garlic, and if you know me, I like a lot of garlic. So we're going to be putting 4 cloves where it calls for 2. I don't think there's any extra calories in garlic. I think we can handle that.
I know, I think we can.
So Let's get that in there. Best garlic smasher I've ever found. And again, it's just a Walmart brand, one of those, what do they call it? Farberware. Yeah, I think that's Walmart's store name for stuff.
Pots and pans that are
Yeah.
from
Now,
that
I've not
company.
really cared for their Farberware pots and pans. I think their non-stick stuff sticks, but at least this tool I like. And I like Ree Drummond's Pioneer Woman stuff too. I like her things as well. Let me put that in there, and I want to get, it calls for crushed garlic, so I'm going to make sure I don't leave any of that that's in there, because that's nothing but good old crushed garlic, and that's going to go in and create some nice flavors. All right, so we're going to let that hang out there for a couple of 3 minutes. And then it's time to get creamy. Now my sun-dried tomatoes are already starting to get a little brown, so that's good. They're getting some flavor built up. That's that Maillard effect that we talk about, the browning aspect of things. A little basil's going in. I'm going to wait and put that in just a minute. Right now, this is the good stuff. This is the Fayet zero fat Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. And as they put on everything, no, it's not Fage, F-A-G-E, it's Fayet. And make sure they let you know how to pronounce it. So that's going to get in there, and that's going to make it really creamy. So nice and creamy. Turn my heat down just a little bit. And this the yogurt sort of has to melt. It's a little bit thick and a little bit, I don't know, creamy. So it's got to melt down just a little bit. So we're going to let that continue to simmer there for just a second or two. Try to get everything coated and creamy. Oh, that looks good. That's going to be so tasty. Mm-hmm. And here's the next kicker. Look at all of this Parmesan cheese that we're able to put in. This is shaved Parmesan. So we get 4 ounces, a half a cup of shaved Parmesan cheese, and going to put a little basil, just plain old dried basil. We're going to put that in there as well. Now this is going to be ready for Zoodles once the cheese has melted. So we're going to let it continue to melt down. It won't take it long because it's shaved. It's very thin, but that's going to really make this tasty. And of course, red pepper flakes, I've got those to put in. Those are optional. And for Debbie, they're absolutely do not include. For me, I'll stick them in my plate when I finish it up. So I like the red pepper flakes, and I'll do that a little later.
That looks so good.
Doesn't it look good?
So creamy.
Yeah, so creamy. And that's one of the things about food that's really healthy for you. Usually it's not creamy. So the cream usually means a lot of fat, but remember we're using zero fat Fayet yogurt.
Alan Button is watching.
Al, yeah, you mentioned Alan anyway.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't mean to correct you, but yeah, we've
Well, I
already
like
said
to
hello
know.
to Alan. All right, so Zoodles are going in. We're going to put the Zoodles in. They just need to get soft and kind of warm. That will take, 4 or 5 minutes. So we'll just let them continue to simmer. We don't want to cook them down too much because you don't want to release a lot of the liquid in them. So we're just going to let those just kind of cover them in everything and let them sit here and simmer for 3 or 4 minutes and just get soft. Man, and that's going to help thicken it up. Yeah, that's going to thicken this up. Oh my goodness, that's going to be good. Again, you can find all these things at the Quality Foods in the Town Plaza Shopping Center, Toccoa. We appreciate them sponsoring our program, so stop by and tell them you heard it on the Healthy Happy Hour. Just tell them the yellow hat guy did it. They'll know who you're talking about when you get there. Matter of fact, I went to the drugstore yesterday, and they hollered in the drugstore and said, "Where's your yellow hat?" And I said, "It's right here in the truck. I just had taken it off." So they had to make sure I had my yellow hat somewhere near me, and I did have it on today.
It's funny. You're funny looking without it.
I know. I've gotten so used to it.
I know, me too.
By the way, I want to thank Heather Paramore. Yesterday, I went and did a little talk to some kids in Cornelia, kind of a career day, about racetrack announcing and radio announcing and those kind of things, and I kind of told them what it's all about and my experiences in that. So I want to thank her. We had a great time, a wonderful opportunity, and I appreciate all those kids for being very attentive and enjoying what they were doing. We're probably going to look with those Zoodles. They're going to need a little more salt, so we're going to kind of salt this to taste. And I can tell you right now, Debbie and I like things a little bit salty. We don't like things that are a little out of salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle the rest of that salt in there and stir this one final time. Man, that looks so, so good.
I may have seconds on this.
You may have to have. And I decided to use our summer plates today. It's a nice summer afternoon and evening. Might just go sit out on the deck and eat this. You know what? So I didn't hear a resounding yes on that.
No, you didn't.
Okay, we'll eat inside. Anyway, and to top it off, you know, why not? Let's just do a little
Parmesan.
extra dash of Food Club. This is directly from Quality Foods. Little extra parm on there. Never hurt anybody.
That's right.
There you are, ladies and gentlemen. That is crispy yet creamy chicken thighs with sun-dried tomatoes served over Zoodles. Just like it, and I'll send you the recipe. Bye, everybody. Have a great Wednesday.